Dragon Ball Super episode 87 is now officially in the history books, and joining me here today, guys, to talk about Dragon Ball Super episode 88 is my good friend Daishinkan Emosh, as we're going to be diving into our prediction video for Gohan versus Piccolo. And again, I do want to say, if your opinion's different than ours, if you guys have anything else to add on to this discussion, go on ahead and drop your comments down below. And again, this video will contain lots of spoilers for Dragon Ball Super episode 87 and 88. Emosh, I know you saw Gohan versus Piccolo during the episode preview. It is something that all of us have wanted to see now from the very beginning. I think two very underutilized characters, that being Piccolo and Gohan, having to finally train and do something a part of the show. So I want to get your thoughts on two things. Number one, how do you feel about seeing Gohan train with Piccolo non-stop until the very day where the tournament's about to begin? And number two, based on what we saw towards the end of the preview, what are your thoughts on Gohan having to become stronger than he ever was before, and potentially seeing his mystic powers slash ultimate powers be debuting in next week's episode?
Alright, so I really wasn't expecting for us to just dive into the previews.
No, we're diving right into that because that's like the hottest thing right now.
Well, then that's fine. So first off, let me just say thank you for having me on the channel once again, as always.
No problem, man.
What's going on, everyone? And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. There's a lot of people that felt like maybe this episode didn't provide enough, so I could see why we're diving into the previews from the beginning.
To a degree, yeah.
So right. So I mean, okay, we were teased. That whole preview was a big teaser, like, because they have so many shots of Gohan kind of showing us something, then all of a sudden they just cut it off and they show something else. But I gotta say, it's amazing to see the two of them training this way again. Obviously, Gohan is not a little boy anymore, so so Piccolo is not going to be beating the shit out of him like he was when he was a little boy.
But so he's not going to go easy either.
Definitely not. And I right from the beginning, when Gohan first approached Piccolo, Piccolo said, "Listen, I know why you're here. I can see it. You're a soft and frail body. I'll train you." And that we already knew, you know, it was about to go down. So I'm really excited, Alex. Like, you have no idea. I mean, finally, I thought we weren't going to see a rematch between Goku and Gohan eventually. Yeah. Which, if I'm right, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I haven't been following the spoilers entirely, but I do feel like they owe it to us for Gohan to actually, I don't want to see be matched with Super Saiyan Blue, but if Krillin and 17 can do it, then, you know, we need to see a sparring match between the two of them.
Well, yes, for those of you who haven't seen my spoiler video, Dragon Ball Super episode 90 is entitled the Breaking the Walls Goku x Gohan. So you might be right. Wow. We might actually see Goku and Gohan finally do something. But aside all of that, right, before we jump into that, what are your thoughts and what is your overall predictions going into next week's episode as to how far Gohan's going to go? Because if we want to look at the way they're fighting, we see Piccolo, he looks like he's kind of maxed out. Gohan as well, he's using Super Saiyan. Arguably, he may be a Super Saiyan too, we don't know. But there's a spot in the preview where we get to see him with one of his hair strains coming down, in which we did not see during the Zen exhibition. So that could arguably be Gohan, you know, reaching his ultimate powers again. What are your thoughts on their whole training process? And do you personally believe that Gohan is going to become stronger than he ever was before, just based on him training with Piccolo for hours on end?
Well, he has to. That's one, because once again, they're kind of over-exaggerating everybody's strength at this point, right? So the fact that they can stand toe-to-toe, and I don't mean like literally stand toe-to-toe and match Goku, but the fact that they can get in the same ring with him and really throw fists with him says something. So Gohan, as of right now, is probably the only character left, other than Tien Shinhan, but who really needs to show us something, right? And the fan base has been not expecting it, but we've been demanding it for years.
Since Battle of Gods, bro.
I mean, even before that, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when are we gonna get Gohan again? When are we gonna get the Gohan that we all know and love so much? Are we gonna get something like that again? Hopefully. I think now, 90 episodes in, 88 episodes in, 89 episodes in, it's about that time. But my thoughts overall are, I just hope that the next episode where they're training, I hope they give us enough shots of that, like enough actual sequences of them actually training. I hope the majority of the episode is not just like you know, bullshitting. And I know it's necessary, like it's not filler, it's canon to the story. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna preview that to us, make sure we get enough of it. You know what I'm saying?
And I think you're right, because I don't see anything else aside from Goku being there that shows us that they're going to be transitioning into something else. Maybe we're going to see, you know, Bulma with the baby again, very similar to what we saw in this episode, episode 87, which I really enjoyed the little Beerus sequence, because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much.
That was hilarious.
That was he was like, it's a bad premonition, it's a bad premonition. Like, and then Vegeta's like, yo, like, this is not a hotel, bro, like, get out of here. So, you know, stuff like that, it's fine. And I really hope that you're right. I really hope that they stick with the formula of seeing Piccolo train with Gohan nonstop throughout the episode, because Piccolo and Gohan, bro, they haven't done anything in Dragon Ball Super. The only thing I would say that came close to utilizing Piccolo in was during the Universe 7 vs 6 battle against Frost.
That
was trash.
Right, yeah, it made him look really because he's not that fighter. Like, he's never been that reckless. Like, that was the first time where I saw Piccolo and I looked at him and I said, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you know, like, what? When do we know Piccolo to just start a match that recklessly? You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminded me of the whole Raditz fight, where he was charging up that attack and someone else had to keep him busy, except there was nobody there to keep, right, so there was nobody there to keep Frost busy. But it's about time, you know, man. I'm shaking, you know?
And it's fitting, because a lot of us, I mean, you remember when Frieza one-punched Gohan, he died, and the same thing occurred. You know, he wasn't even at the tournament, because when he wanted to enter the Universe 6 tournament, Goku and everyone said, you know, you can come, but then again, you can't, you're weak, and then Gohan's like, I don't want to enter, because he felt like he was weak, and then during the whole Black thing, he was nowhere to be found. He was eating ice cream and working on books. So this entire time, it's kind of sad to see how far we've come with him, but I think that they're really going to mold him into the fighter we all want to see. And here's the thing I do want to point out to everybody, and you guys can go on ahead and check out Emosh's videos on this as well, because he does talk about this as well. There is no confirmation on Gohan having any sort of Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Blue, or Super Saiyan White power.
Yeah,
that is not confirmed by anyone, by Shueisha or Toei or Akira. So if anyone's getting their information out there that, yeah, he's going to have a new form, you are incorrect. The furthest I think Gohan is going to go is going to unlock his ultimate power, and if that tap into that directly and having to, you know, manifest its entire, you know, power onto the surface and becoming the strongest he can be, I can definitely see that happening. But for anyone out there who's wondering if he's going to get a new form, it's possible, but the chances of that happening are just very slim to none.
No, they're not giving us any kind of indication. Even if it was a surprise, they don't keep things like that. Like, okay, nowadays with all the technology and all the information, how easy it is to get information from people. You always know what's coming up, right? And with Goku, it's apparent. I'm not saying it's a new form. I am saying it's something different,
something's
right?
coming.
So in Gohan's case, there's two things that we need to keep in mind. One, is this going to be a consistent, you know, the consistency factor? Is Gohan going to get strong and then he's going to be consistent with it? Or is he going to go back to his bullshit again, right? That's one. And two, is the fact that I would say, if it's not Ultimate Gohan, for example, I would say maybe it's the Gohan that we first got when he first unlocked Super Saiyan 2. That serious face, that straight down to business kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of fighting style.
Absolutely.
That's the Gohan that we need. We don't need him to be stronger, because even if he's stronger and he holds on to those human emotions that he has so much of, you know, doubting himself and really conflicting, he fights himself more than he fights his opponents, right? So if we can get the Gohan that is down to business, I would say, and maybe you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments, that's the Gohan that we need. We need the Gohan that comes in to finish the job and it has a goal, and he tries hard to, you know, to reach that goal. That's the kind of Gohan that we need right now.
And especially after seeing what Trunks went through, and it's pretty interesting because I went back and I watched just that one episode where Gohan was wondering as to why Trunks never asked him directly about what was going on. Because remember, Trunks never directly told Gohan what was going on. He had to find out through, you know, the conversation with Goku and Chi-Chi and stuff. So he was always like, well, how come, you know, Trunks never came to me? And he was always one of those guys in Super to where he was like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. But now this gives us a chance to see Gohan, you know, finally hit his peak. So in retrospect for that, we have the episode titles for episode 91 and 92. 91 is the Mightiest Warriors, I think it's somewhere to where they gather up. I think it's the gathering of the Mightiest Warriors. So everyone's going to gather together, but episode 92 kind of conflicts that because the episode title alludes that not everyone is there. So, I mean, and plus this goes way into May. So, like, the final episode of Dragon Ball Super that we got for 92 goes up until May 28th, which means that the Tournament of Power may begin either in June or July, which is mind-blowing. It's wow. they're definitely dragging this on, but up until May 28th, everything is gonna happen with Goku X Gohan, with everyone gathering, and then with some people having to be missing. So up until that point,
wait, hold on, wait a minute. So they're gonna finish. So wait, that's episode what, 92?
Yeah,
or?
Episode 90 is going to be entitled "Breaking the Walls," Goku X Gohan. And then we have Dragon Ball Super episode 91 entitled The Mightiest Warriors Assemble, which is on May 21st. And the final episode is All the Members Aren't Here? Question mark.
So Tien, they gotta get Tien still probably.
Tien and Master Roshi, I think they're gonna be within the same episode, which is 89.
So they're gonna give us some downtime after having a
Yeah, they're gonna have I mean, they're really and I believe we're a little under 30 hours, so they're gonna drag out they're gonna drag out the 20+ hours within the span of like a month, and then we're going to begin this massive tournament, which again, we don't even know what's going on in other universes and stuff, but they're pretty much focusing, and today was an example, they were focusing with Goku having to prove himself to 17 and giving him a reason to join, and which he did. He gave him a reason because he protected the animals and the Minotaur and stuff, which, you know, did that. So
I liked it. So
far, from what I'm understanding, next week's episode is, I think, and I don't know how you may feel about this, but if we're gonna see Goku X Gohan, right, breaking the walls, then what gives me the idea that next week's episode might be about is we might only get Piccolo versus Gohan just for next week's episode, and then after that, I think they may break off, maybe, because
maybe. No, I think that because the style, if you remember back into the Goku Black arc, they would title the episode something, but we would see that part of the title at the end, and they would follow it up with in the following episode.
Okay, yes,
so what they could do is do the training, and then go into episode 90 with the training, right? And then break the walls, Goku X Gohan, right, would be towards the end of the episode, and then they fuck us, and then we're going into 91, like, oh my god, we gotta get the hype. And then they follow up now. And then they follow up with finding Tien, and then eventually finding Roshi. Everybody gathers. That's personally what I think may happen based on their habits.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the beauty of this episode, is because we get so much, and they're gonna tease us. I mean, they're not gonna reveal Piccolo going all out and Gohan. I mean, I think they're really gonna save that shit for the tournament, which I cannot wait for. But in perspective of what happened in this episode, how did you feel about 87 in regards to the throwback for 17 remembering Kid Buu and the Genki Dama, and then you know Goku having to piss off King Kai and saying, well, this guy wanted to kill himself. That was so great. He was like, this guy wanted to kill himself, so I brought him here. And King Kai's like, yo.
They say history repeats itself.
It does. And Kai was like, yo, you're kidding me, right? Like, yo.
I'm not a bomb disposal unit. That was hilarious.
Yo, that was great.
You know what was great? The nice touch they put on it, where it was the villain who mentioned to 17 about having a self-destruction device in his body.
Yes.
That was a nice touch there. I was like, oh, 17 had that before too. Like the androids used to have that built into them.
16,
so that's
16
a nice
had
touch.
it, yep.
Right, and then 18 had it as well. Like the androids in general, they had it as a last resort. That was a nice touch. I liked how contrasting with the whole animals and giving 17 an action, giving him another perspective on it. Like, you know what, maybe all of this is worth fighting for, despite whether or not we're all erased together. I kind of like that, and I kind of like how they kind of teased us a little bit when 17 asked Goku what he would wish for, and then he mentioned him being the savior of the world, and Goku said, well, no, I never really thought about that. I'm just in this just to fight strong opponents. That was like okay, so we know he's gonna wish to save the world or something like that. But then he replies with, oh, no, I don't care about that. I'm just here to fight strong guys.
I'm just here to fight, so
it's kind of like a bait and switch. So we have a general idea where they could take this, but there were some nice touches here and there. I think that's what the main idea of this episode was.
I just love how Beerus was like, it's a premonition, it's a bad omen. Like, he freaked out, and Whis was like, yo, you gotta get some sleep, bro, because like you're really losing your mind over this. But I mean, post your comments down below, guys. Gohan versus Piccolo, Gohan training with Piccolo. What are your thoughts on that? And again, thank you all for watching the video. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe. If you guys enjoyed the discussion, make sure to go ahead and leave a like down below. And also, guys, go ahead and head over to Emosh's channel and subscribe to his channel. He does lots of Dragon Ball content as well, alongside many other things to come. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan and various other things.
I had to cut that off temporarily because due to some time restraints, but I'm looking to get back into that. But definitely, guys, I would recommend that you check out Alex's server. He has a Discord server for more interaction between, obviously, with UnrealEntGaming, myself, amongst other members of the community. So definitely check that out.
So we hope to see you guys here in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and then we'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Take it easy, guys. Peace.